All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 23 of TSGG Chat. I'm Kevin Bork, your host. We've got a great show this week. We've got some news. We're talking about Nintendo's new mobile game, Dragalia Lost. And we've got some questions coming in from listeners and whatever else. But first, head over to tsgg.online and sign up for our weekly newsletter. It's completely free, and it comes with a welcome gift for becoming a member. Also follow us on Twitter at the TSGG and watch our YouTube videos at youtube.com/The Society. When you do, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We would also like you to consider heading over to patreon.com/TSGG to see the many subscription levels that we offer. For only $1 a month, you'll get early access to almost all of the podcasts and videos we offer for free on services like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, YouTube, Spotify, and others. Why wait longer when it's only $1? Now let's meet our panel and begin the show. This week we've got Jake, Brett, and Brennon. Welcome, boys.
Can we talk about how you just said whatever else?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
A lot of improvisation tonight, I feel.
Yeah.
We've now joined TSGG's improv group.
Correct. Welcome.
So where do you guys want to start? You guys want to start with the news? You want to talk about Nintendo's?
Let's start with the whatever else.
Whatever
Let's
else.
do whatever else. I'm curious.
Well, I said whatever else because I have a couple questions of my own that I want to talk about. So that's why I said whatever else, because I didn't really know what to say there.
Sounds good to me.
Following every other podcast setup, let's do the news, Kevin. Hit us
Okay.
with that news.
News first.
News first.
Okay, so Devil May Cry 5's Deluxe Edition was announced. And this comes with the full game and the following additional content. There was also a trailer shown off for this. The 4 exclusive Devil Breaker weapons that you're going to get. They did a trailer for one of them, which is the Mega Blaster from Mega Man, which is really, really cool. So
Is it?
Nero will be able to,
Well, DMC.
and they
5.
showcase like they did a 2D thing where, and they put on the bottom that it was
Not
made
real.
for this. Yeah. So it looked like Mega Man fighting bosses, but they also, you'll get 4 exclusive Devil Breaker weapons. Plus you're going to get live action cutscenes. Plus you're going to get battle music, 12 tracks from Devil May Cry 1 through 4.
Wait.
Can I stop you?
Live action.
Yeah, I was
live
gonna say,
action
what?
cutscenes.
Live action cutscenes.
So, question
What
about
if-
that.
Does this look like a movie?
What if I
Yes.
prefer
You don't.
video
It's an
game
option. Yeah.
animated? Okay.
It's an
Also,
option.
is that only for the deluxe?
Yes.
What?
So continuing on, so you get the live action cutscenes.
Yeah, we'll come
the
back to
4
that.
exclusive Devil Breaker weapons, 12 tracks of battle music from Devil May Cry 1 through 4. You get alt style rank announcers and title calls. And you get Dante's weapon, the Cavalier R, which is the motorcycle,
Mhm.
but it's a different version of it.
So just like a
Is
Is
it
it a
skin.
different color or?
Oh yeah, it's just like a skin.
Yeah, it's like a skin.
Pass that around here. Let me see that.
That's a
That's dope.
shame. I wish they'd made a different weapon, but
Also,
Cool looking
they did
skin.
announce that you are going to be playing as a third character named V.
V.
Not the same V from Cyberpunk. Don't get it twisted.
how much worse?
Not
V?
Virgil.
This,
I thought it was Virgil.
I know.
there was an image of V, if
Yep.
you haven't seen V.
He looks flamboyant.
I don't know about that.
It's
But-
probably such a fun fighting style with him.
He will be included, so you'll be playing as Dante, Nero, and V. This deluxe edition is $69.99.
That's a great price.
It's only $10 more for all of that.
Oh, I apologize for what my voice did there, guys. That was disgusting.
I am still stuck on the live action cutscenes. Who is the actor?
There's no
who are
other
the
info.
actors?
I don't have any other info for you.
Because that's gonna look. It's gonna be like
It's either
I
gonna look
assume
really
a live
good
action movie.
Or
So it's
really
got to have
bad.
actors.
Well, if it's from any of the studios that are making the new anime live action movies, it's going to be epic. Because I don't know if you guys have seen Full Metal Alchemist or
Are you talking about Netflix?
yeah,
Stop.
or Bleach
Well,
because they're both
the movies are bad,
awesome.
But
No,
as
they're
far
really good.
As far as like,
Did you say the movies are really good?
You haven't seen them?
the first thing that comes
Oh,
to
no.
mind for me
I've
is
seen
I've seen
them.
them.
You don't think they're good?
I haven't
For
seen the
Japanese
Bleach
films?
one, but I've seen the.
No, I haven't seen the Bleach one. I saw Full Metal Alchemist and I saw
I
Death
cried.
Note, and
No, not Death Note. Death Note was made by us.
Death Note was horrendous.
Death Note was Hollywood.
I was so upsetty with Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist was Japanese made, and it was really well done. I don't know what your
I
problem
didn't
is.
like it. Not at all.
I see what you. It was well
It's one
done.
of my
as
top
far-
5 anime, so
No,
the
I
movie
see.
didn't
It
really
was well
touch
done
it.
as far as a
Not
movie,
at all.
but as far as like anime, it didn't really get anything that
Also-
Full Metal Alchemist brought to
Also,
you.
produced. Well, not produced, but Square Enix owns Full Metal Alchemist, which is kind of dope.
Did
Side
they
note
really?
I was
Yes, they
not
do.
aware
I
of that.
didn't
they
know
need to make
that
a
either.
Full Metal Alchemist game.
they do.
Bring me
they've
that.
they've had games.
A
They
good
were
one.
bad.
A good one.
As
Jake.
imagined.
So March 8th, 2019 is when this game is coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm more excited about the things that came, well, from reading into it. There is a multiplayer that was already confirmed.
Yep, online multiplayer.
DMC?
Some
Yes.
sort. We don't know what it is, but yeah, online multiplayer is
So-
confirmed.
I can't even remember the guy's name, the one who made it. I think his last name is Itsuru.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Solid attempt, but,
But-
moving on. That person.
He stated that it's mainly single player focus. That's what we're going to be focusing on throughout the whole entire thing. But I guess there is a multiplayer function. I from what I've gathered and looked at, there might be like a horde mode. People are guessing.
Like, we team up.
Well,
Yeah.
Horde mode?
that's just
Yeah.
all conjecture. Nobody
it's-
knows.
no
what
one
it
knows
is.
yet.
There are 3 playable characters, so it's quite possible it could be a co-op. It's
Well, there's 3 playable announced.
And who is
Yeah, true.
V? Let's talk about that. Like, what do we have anything on him yet visually?
Jake
like,
said V. That's
Visually,
what Virgil
yes,
starts with. Must be
I
Virgil.
showed you him.
stop, shut up.
That is what Jake said.
Jake
What's he-
said,
what's
let's
he
talk about
fight
this.
with?
You guys have any details? No.
I
Because
don't-
none have been released.
Nobody
How about
does.
you,
Yeah.
Jake?
I don't
You
have
got those
anything
deets?
about him. I don't know anything.
Nobody does. Jake.
All right. Well,
Nobody
great topic,
It's a
on the
Jake.
mystery.
planet that is outside of DMC5.
Hurts.
I can't wait for that game. It's going to be great.
If any of you watched the boss battle that I sent you, you would have seen the insane combat mechanics.
It's DMC. It's
Yeah.
what they've always
It
been.
was so awesome.
just a lot
just
cleaner in this
fantastic.
gen.
Yep.
They just released that
It's nice to see
this
them
morning.
on this gen. Let's move on. PlayStation has conceded. Fortnite cross-platform play has begun.
I wonder what caused that. Weird.
I mean, we've been predicting it and saying that it's going to happen
We
sooner.
said it
They
had
had
to.
to
Yeah, their
cave.
entire customer base hated that.
Well,
yeah,
it was
so
terrible.
now that it's operating,
By the way, Xbox handled this with so much class when they did not need to. So well. Made a cute little joke about it and moved on. Like it was no problem.
I
Just-
loved the meme.
It was
It
pretty
was a great moment for me.
I mean, why not take shots? It took them this long
Well,
to
it wasn't.
acknowledge it.
They didn't take shots. They
It-
were very polite. They said they said that Marvel. They posted Marvel's comment.
It was a
um,
light jab.
It was very.
It was a love tap.
way more polite
It
than
was.
it needed to be, and I love the way they handled it. I think it's very classy.
Oh, they're classy.
To say, "Yep, we appreciate you.
Leather
We know it
jacket
took a long
Phil.
time, but now you're here. Let's do this." And it was kind of I liked it. As an Xbox guy, I wanted to be like, "Yeah, get them."
Cooperation.
But they didn't do that, so it was good to see it. Anyway,
Moving forward.
It was a
is
gentle
is
love tap.
Correct.
What it's signifying, and I
Yeah.
hope it did.
I
does
mean, I
continue.
hope so. Or is that really the strength of Fortnite? Is Epic so strong
No,
they can
I
now
imagine.
dictate?
I mean, they are
Cross-platform.
$1 billion
They are.
from this game
yeah, but
alone.
I
so.
100% disagree with that. I think it was the the continuous pressure that
By
PlayStation,
Epic.
Sony
Well,
has been getting.
Bethesda also has been
Literally.
pressing them.
I think it was multiple.
Fallout 76, Todd Howard announced, will not be cross-platform.
right.
Yeah, he wanted it to
another
be, though,
game-
is the thing.
That they were releasing, they've already said we're not coming to Sony if it's not crossplay.
Oh, that was the card one, right?
Yes,
Yeah. I can't think of the name of that.
because it's such a major aspect
Is it
of
the
what they want
Legends?
the game to be.
I think
Elder
it is
Scroll Legends?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They want it to be that, and he said we will skip Sony if. Well, it actually wasn't Todd Howard. It was one of their marketing
I
managers.
think it was Pete Hines.
Somebody major
He's also super
said-
high up.
said we'll skip Sony. We won't give you a game if you're gonna block crossplay.
Pete Hines is the highest, I believe. So let's remain on Fortnite for a minute because they are number one right now.
Everywhere.
Um,
I mean, we've
a
kind of jumped
study-
on board with that. So
a study has
Our
been
own.
released
Fortnite gamer. So
in September, and it is found
is this about
from
divorces?
January until
It's about the
September,
divorces.
over 200 divorces in the UK were filed due to a partner obsessively playing Fortnite.
I have no comment for that.
That's just,
This is outrageous.
that's so dark.
This is crazy how popular this game is. I don't know if we're ever going to see a game this popular again.
I don't know why it's so popular.
It's like a cancer.
Well, it's
not
it's
a cancer
it's
because cancer doesn't spread this way.
it's the
like a
same. It's the
disease.
same as I've talked to before. It's all about addiction. So
It is,
that's what
and-
a game is.
Epic's
It
Epic's
100%
Battle
is.
Pass, man. Epic's Battle
I don't
Pass.
even
They
care.
Just
they
like the
know
same
what they're
thing as
doing.
getting
I
in.
played one game and I was like, nope,
Yeah, but
never again.
not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
Once you
And-
get let's say you have a solid team, people who you play with all the time, and people
Well,
who
the
want
thing
to
you
keep
have to
playing.
look at is that not everybody's like us with video games either. So
Right.
these people aren't even good.
Well, not only
Yikes.
that part of it,
Casuals.
but
And they-
these it's what Epic's doing here. Like they keep adding things to this game to keep it fresh.
Oh yeah.
And they keep listening to their user base, and they just keep making these changes. If something gets added that everybody hates, they take it out, and
and-
they're making these constant changes, and that's what's propelling them to be the number one game in the world.
100% free game, and if you want to spend money, you just spend money to look good. That's all it is.
It's a terrible game.
It's not bad.
There's a lot of games
is
like
bad.
it.
It's not.
It hurts me.
It's
that
an
it's so
addictive
popular.
game. That's all it is.
It's
It's
not.
it's
Very
a
addictive.
continuous
It's-
repetitive
It's
game.
not good enough to
Exactly.
be what it
It's
is.
so
But
repetitive.
you're saying
It's the same
okay.
thing
So
over and
hold
over.
up, hold up.
The thing
hold
is, you also got people who are like 0-700 who
Exactly,
addictively
that's
play
what I
this
don't
you
game.
have to understand that.
So
they're-
when they get their first win, are they going to quit the game forever? Because it's like, what else? is
Probably
there to
not.
do?
They're addicted to the game.
right, exactly. It's
700.
it's addicted to what that game is. It's
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 crazy
just
to me.
simple, easy, continuous play. That's all it is.
It's the same thing repetitively
That's-
over and over, and they get shot in the head.
Let's talk about
They're
Overwatch,
top
shall we?
25. Yeah, but Overwatch has that
It's-
competitive. It's 5v. It's 6v6. It's not 100
1 versus 100. Yeah, I mean you're literally one
They
versus
die
It's just a
99.
different.
lose.
It's
That's
a
the
different
thing.
style of competition.
The
It's still
concept of
competition.
Overwatch, though, is Overwatch
No.
is still an addictive game. Once you buy it once, you don't have to spend any more money on it, but people still do.
Yeah, people
It's-
spend.
It's just a constant game that you can keep playing. I could go over a whole bunch of different games, especially free ones that are just the same concept. Free game, repetitive play, but you can spend money at at your leisure.
Like Smite,
Like Smite,
but Smite is 6v6,
like League of Legends.
and when you win, and it doesn't take you 5 hours.
like Heroes of the Storm, like Dota 2, they're all free games
Okay,
that
to be fair, most
My
Fortnite
average
matches are
Overwatch-
like 20 minutes long.
yeah, because the people get killed because they're bad.
Well, no, the storm kind of forces
Yep.
you to move.
But I
Yeah,
don't
it's only-
understand.
it's only-
it's crazy to me.
the games don't last super long. They last average about 10 to 20 minutes, right?
20.
Yeah.
It's it's closer to 20, if anything.
Right.
And that's the thing is though, like I understand the game. I'm really happy for them that they're doing so well, but it's crazy to me that it's this popular. It has taken over.
It's such a simple, easy game that people can
Ninja
easily...
was on the cover of ESPN the magazine for
Because
Fortnite,
of Fortnite.
and it's crazy that it's become
The king of
it's
Twitch.
taken the world over.
The king of gaming.
the king of gaming.
Which don't ever say that again. That
Well,
hurts.
he
That
is.
hurts my soul. Oh, him? No, I don't care about him. Good for him. But I thought you were saying Fortnite, and that hurt me deep.
Well, Fortnite is the most popular game in the world, so it is
So-
also the king.
Oh wait,
Not good. I don't understand.
All right,
but it's not bad either.
we've talked about Fortnite so much. Let's move on to
It's
some
too much.
other
we're going around in a circle
news.
right now.
just can't figure it out.
Let's talk about some other news. This game is already out. Believe it came out this week on Nintendo Switch. Dragon Ball Fighters.
Hey.
So Fighters is a pretty cool game. If you haven't played it yet and you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, what the hell are you waiting for?
Such a good game for a Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah. The latest update for the final DLC characters were announced, and those are Cooler and Android 17. But what I wanted to talk about was the announcement of the free update that came out right before the DLC characters, which I believe are the final DLC characters for this game. So the new update actually adds a brand new stage, and it includes new options for players, including a 2v2 instead of 3v3, and also a 1v1. So I thought that was really cool. That's going to be a free update. And they are including new lobby avatars and costume colors for a Halloween theme.
Can you imagine the sweat in a 1v1?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Like, when it came out, it was 3v3 only, and
Right.
I kind of wished there was a 1v1. I would have preferred it, and now that it's there for free, why
you gotta
not?
sweat that
right?
so hard.
The thing about it is that game is it's a little different than any other fighting game just by a hair, because once they get into a combo, it's
infinite.
you're just going to stay there for a while.
Actual infinite combos in this game.
I mean, there are ways to dodge it, but you have to build up a bar to dodge it, and that,
Right,
if they get you through that combo, you're pretty much already done. Like,
Yeah.
Especially in a 1v1. So whoever breaks and is stuck in that combo first, you lose. You're basically over.
but then again,
Yeah.
So imagine the sweat getting to that point where everybody's trying to instant block and go through the process. And
I mean, we watched that championship on YouTube.
yes, we did. The guy brought it back with his
when
last
it was
character.
1v1, it went on for like 8 minutes. Just they
Their
block,
last two
block, block, block,
characters.
block, block. It was insane.
I mean, I didn't play the game enough to say that I'm any good at it, but I know I've seen enough of it to know that it's a pretty hard game to get competitive with if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Oh, yeah, you don't have a chance.
Fighting games are that way.
Yeah, you got to know.
regardless.
You got to practice. You got to get good.
Yeah.
I think this is really great because you're going to see at the competitive level 1v1s and
Insane
2v2s.
1v1s.
So you're going to
Right.
have much more going on. Also, these new Z capsules are going to be available, and players can purchase them to unlock Halloween-themed avatars, outfit colors, titles, player cards, and stamps. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And I don't know if they're going to have any other releases, but I'm assuming they'll probably go on with more of these holiday type theme things. But as far as we're
Overwatch,
aware
I
of, the characters are all done.
I'm curious as to see how many actual MMO type games, because I mean, technically, with how they set up Dragon Ball Z Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighter Z, it's a lot of it's you're in a lobby waiting for something or doing something like that where you can see people and they communicate in their own little ways. But
Yeah.
I'm curious as to see some of the games that have been out for this year participate in Halloween and October and the fall. I'm hoping Monster Hunter World will pop up something.
Oh, without a doubt. They've had one for
For
everything.
October.
Overwatch has
Yeah,
already
the
announced
month.
their Halloween events coming.
You're shaking your head.
They're not.
Yeah, it starts October 9th. They just announced it yesterday.
Yeah, but their event, it's not like it usually is because they have something really big coming. So they're not doing any real events or anything like
No
that.
Junkenstein?
until- Yeah, exactly. It's not a Junkenstein's Revenge
Oh, that sucks.
because of they've got something really big coming, I guess. I don't know what it is. The last time they said this, they came out with the looking for group search thing that they activated where you can just click it and it'll take you into a competitive group.
Oh, really?
And- yep. And you basically just put in, okay, I'm a DPS, and it'll team you up with other players that are you have a DPS, a healer. It just makes it easier so that you have that. This was the last time they did that where they said they're coming out with something big, so I'm not sure what is coming, but it is some kind of big update.
Interesting. Stay
As a
tuned
person
for
who's
that.
played Overwatch, who is apparently not playing Overwatch anymore, what do you think it could be?
I honestly have no idea because I love the events, and Halloween is actually one that I've never participated in, so I don't have any of the skins. So this kind of hurt me because I was like, well,
I mean, you'll still get the skins, just
not right, but it's just not the same.
right. I
guess.
get you. I understand.
They like the summer event and stuff that just ended. It's something that they've done every year, so I'm not sure what it could be. Hopefully, I know they're doing a lot of fixes. As a Reinhardt player, they destroyed him. He has a new glitch now where you Earth Shatter and he will glitch and Earth Shatter 5 times and you're dead all of a sudden and you don't know what happened and it missed everybody. So that's fun. And
They'll fix that.
and their servers are just a mess. And yeah.
Is it because of this new update they're working on?
yes, probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with it.
They'll fix it.
That's why it's uninstalled
It'll be reinstalled
eventually. But
in a matter of days. So let's move on to our final piece of news for the day. This one, we're talking about PlayStation 4 owners can now download full games, including PS2 titles from the PlayStation Now streaming service. And I believe this to be a direct answer to Xbox Game Pass.
Oh,
Are all their
Which-
exclusives free?
What's that?
Are all their exclusives free on this?
No, come on now.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
This is their
a direct
they're,
answer.
They're
Huh.
not going to go with
Seems
that.
like a
This
poor
is-
answer then.
right
this
jab.
This is what
That's
they
not
got.
right.
Uh,
He tickled his forehead.
PlayStation Now is also more expensive than Game Pass is anyway. But this is something that they're adding because they're trying to compete with Game Pass.
Not doing a great job.
Not gonna
Based
happen.
on what
So-
that
Not
just
if
said.
your exclusives aren't free.
So
And if
they're
you're paying
they're
more, what's the point?
they're
What's
going
the
to
point?
allow subscribers to download dozens of full PlayStation 4 and 2
Dozens.
titles.
Game Pass released at 150.
Previously,
Bunch
the
of noobs.
$20 per month service only streamed games to users, and you were required to have a broadband connection. Otherwise, latency was a huge problem.
What? Oh
So-
my, that is terrible. And now they're letting them fully download them so they don't have to be connected?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a plus.
This started on September 20th. They gave you the option to download full PlayStation 4 and 2 games to their console for offline play, giving them access to a huge library. Prior to the announcement, players were limited to streaming games from the PlayStation Now library with the internet connection. If it wasn't one of the broadband ones, and I'm not talking about DSL because DSL was not strong enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
So saving it to their home console is going to give them the benefit there.
Ability to actually play.
It also
Good
gives
for
them the
that.
ability to purchase DLC and add-ons and stuff.
That wasn't available before?
No, because it's streaming only.
Oh my God. What year is this?
I mean, this is something new from Xbox too. So
No, it's not.
Game Pass.
No, the buying the DLC, backwards compatibility.
Oh,
How do you think I have Fallout New Vegas? And
no,
all its
I know what
DLC.
you're talking about now.
So the cost of PlayStation Now normally is $20 a month, but new subscribers can join for 1 month at $10 or 3 months at $44.99. And PS Plus subscribers can get 3 months for $30 or a full year for $99.99.
Jake is so hurt by this. I was watching his face as you gave all those prices. Internally, he's like, Game Pass cost me $10.99 a month.
$9.99.
Yeah, and if I really wanted to do it with the if E3 was that time, I would have done the $1 deal, and PlayStation did nothing then.
All
'cause-
Access gave me 24 months of it for dollars per month.
This is-
$37.99 a month, in fact.
Gee, Sony, what a steal!
So only if you are
Hey,
a
at
PS
least they did
Plus
crossplay.
subscriber is it the same cost as Game Pass.
Gee, Sony.
But they said that there are over 650 titles for streaming, but the number of downloadable titles is closer to the size of the Game Pass library, which is around 100.
What a
It
steal!
Little over
launched at 150 and has been added to since.
Do they remove games though? Because they're always saying over 100 games. They never
They
go.
didn't say
No
so.
games I've ever downloaded have they removed.
Okay.
It is
So
new though,
they
so I
might,
don't
but
know.
I don't know.
I mean,
As
they
of
could
now.
actually remove them from the library, and you could still keep the game. So that could be a
That
thing.
is possible.
I think it's important to note that PlayStation is trying something here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna.
They're
Like,
attempting.
They've
I'm not
had
gonna be that and just hate on them. I mean, they're
Sorry.
trying.
they acquired that cloud service from Gaikai back in 2014, I think it was, and then they launched PS Now, I think, in 2015. And before it was you only needed a controller, a PS3 controller, and some Sony TVs and Samsung TVs could broadcast PlayStation Now, but they have since done away with that, and now it's directly linked to the PS4, and no TVs are offering that anymore. So,
I mean,
it seems like they're trying to really figure out what they're going to do with PlayStation Now. I've been wondering that for a while now, if they were going to give the download option, since Microsoft came out and basically gave you everything that Sony should have a couple of years ago. Especially because I'm always advocating for people that don't have great internet connections. They're losing out, and they shouldn't.
me
So-
for the first 16 years of my life.
Yeah,
Feel
it's
ya.
unfortunate that there are people still out there that only have DSL connections, and they have to.
They have to have those too.
Not only that, but they don't have unlimited internet, and they have to be
Exactly, there's
wise
a cap.
on what they download. So, being able to download the game and then not having to worry about streaming it and building up your monthly usage is a nice feature.
Plus, I get to
No.
go home and play Forza for free tonight.
Yeah.
That's something
Upon release.
Sony's never going to do.
No, no
I
way.
don't see
They're
that happening.
they rely so much on their exclusives
Yes,
for
they
their
do.
money, so there's no way.
So I'm a huge Sony fanboy.
Correct.
I've pretty much defended them like tooth and well, I didn't even
Correct.
defend them. I
no,
more or
tooth
less
and nail is a better way to say that.
okay. We'll
Continue.
say tooth and
For a
nail.
long time.
But this is insane. This is a half-handed like we're trying to work and try to do it, but trying is not good enough right now, in my opinion.
With
Jake is
Microsoft.
at the end of his rope, Sony.
I think when it comes to Xbox, where it all
You
started
guys
with
couldn't
E3
see it,
this
but
year.
Kevin just none of my business. Kermit the Frog drank out of this.
Little Mountain Dew he is.
Anyway, continue, Jake.
I mean, with Xbox coming in hot, and they've been delivering every single thing and doing so many things to keep their customers happy. Like
It's working. by the way.
PlayStation just came out and said, "Hey, guess what? We're finally cross-platforming Fortnite." Like that has been so long in the waiting. Like it's been such a horrendous ordeal, and so many people have been complaining about it that now they finally decided to say, "Let's flip that switch."
Honestly, that
It's actually
that for
insane
me
how long
looks
it took.
How long
worse
it took.
because of all of the responses they had in the meantime, where they were like, "Yeah, no, Sony's the best place
Play
to
on
play. That's why we're
PlayStation."
not."
Well, that's
And
their
now they're
tagline. Best
I know.
place to play.
Right.
And
but now,
now-
they're like,
Unless
oh,
you want to play Fortnite.
Now it's the subpar place to
now
play.
you can join us.
Half-handed. That's what this is, in my opinion.
I mean, it's technically still the best place to play
Kind
because
of
they got the numbers
Backhanded.
and
Well,
they have the
half-handed.
exclusives.
They're always gonna
Sales
have
don't
the
make you the
exclusives.
best.
It's like if I was to
Don't
give you
say
a
that.
handshake, it would be more like a gentle like tap on the hand. If anything, that's what Sony just did. It wasn't even a full handshake. It was like a
I actually misspoke. We have one more piece of news,
Oh.
and it directly ties to Sony. PSX
Oh,
has been canceled.
So tying back into Sony trying.
God damn it.
oh. And,
Meanwhile,
Xbox 18.
Xbox 18 was announced.
Correct.
Not only was it announced, but Phil Spencer said it's going to be a show.
Excuse me. It's leather jacket Phil to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta say his name great if you're gonna say it.
I apologize.
Leather jacket, Phil.
If he doesn't come out in a leather jacket for Xbox 18, I'm
The
gonna be
leader
so
of the
sad.
Greasers, Phil Spencer, came out.
Leader of the Snakes.
he
Did he
said
walk
that,
out snapping?
Oh God.
Anyway, he said that this is going to be a great event for the gamers. Also, there will be announcements there.
Fable.
So
Some big ones apparently.
Calling it now.
big announcements.
Bigger than mouse and keyboard support
So
coming
even
to Xbox.
even if
Which is also big.
it is big,
That's pretty huge. And
Yeah, it
that
is
didn't
huge,
even
yeah.
get into Xbox 18. They gave that to us early.
Hey, Sony, what are you doing?
Canceling PSX.
yeah, the cancellation of PSX is a huge thing for me because it just shows that the staff there is still not aware of how powerful these events are to the people.
Yeah.
It drives your
Like-
whole year.
And that's
Yeah.
weird because that's when Sony really stole the show was at
Was-
these
Well,
events.
That's when they have things to show.
And
So when it comes to a showcase where they don't have anything to show, they don't understand. They think they have to cancel. They don't understand the power of the show itself and that the people want to go. If you have a panel there, People want to go and see that panel. They want to see these discussions.
Well, look at Anthem at PAX.
Yeah.
Anthem had nothing to show us, but they did a panel anyway and answered a lot of questions and
Yeah.
and it was one of the most viewed parts of PAX online. Their panel it was streamed out everywhere.
The thing with that cancellation,
Worked it in, by the way.
they don't have like a demo for The Last of Us 2 they could show, another gameplay trailer, more
Nothing.
Ghost of Tsushima, nothing like that. Just
They have nothing.
they can try and give us.
No, they have nothing left. If they do, I'm assuming that they're holding it off, that Jeff Keighley, the person that puts on the Game Awards, I'm assuming that he worked a deal and got whatever assets were left.
But PSX?
That's
Well,
a
their
big one.
show.
That
Doesn't
is
even make
literally-
I know.
sense.
That's what I mean. They don't understand how powerful it is to have these events. Like Blizzard Entertainment and BlizzCon.
They know.
BlizzCon is incredible. People go there hoping to see game announcements and stuff. And if the game announcements don't happen, it's okay.
People just have a good
Because
time.
BlizzCon is
It's
still
a
insane.
cultural thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what Sony doesn't understand, the cultural effect that this show has on people.
Well, the cosplayers
I
at
agree.
BlizzCon are insane too.
Whole 100% what you're saying, because
Yeah.
at this point, if you just open up the doors and said, "Let's have a PSX convention," have people come in, have people talk, and have people
people come in.
generate some buzz.
You're always going to
have us
Sony
come in.
fanboys like
We'll do a
Jake.
panel. We'll do a discussion.
Have-
TSGG
I
in.
mean, I would go to a Sony
Yeah.
convention.
I would too.
I just
Heck
love
yes.
video games. I mean, yes, I'm an Xbox stan, but
It's okay, though.
it's not like I hate Sony. They
No.
make
I mean, we have
top quality
2 PS4
products.
Pros.
Exactly.
We love their exclusives. We love their games.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a reason I buy everything.
And it's
Except
just,
Spider-Man. Ugh.
you would have. But it's just unfortunate they don't understand the power of what they have there. To cancel it just really, really sucks.
Especially after such a weak E3, and they've
It's a huge
I mean,
sign of weakness.
it's Sony, so they're always doing well. But at the same time, Microsoft is blowing up.
Oh yeah,
Microsoft has always focused on PC, and now they're switching and they're coming to console and they're coming at it hard, and they're saying, like they did at E3, here's 50 games with 18 exclusives, and we're announcing them all. And by the way, they come out within the next year and a half.
And
They're coming hard, and then they're saying they're not stopping there. They're saying, okay, now we've got mouse and keyboard support. Oh, and by the way, we've got so many announcements that we have to bring back a show we haven't done in many years, Xbox 18. So
Well, it's just weird to me because Xbox 18 was announced before PSX was canceled. So
right, you think
that was
just
the weirdest
to stay
part for me as
competitive,
well.
they
is-
would keep it going.
you would think, yeah. But what I was going to say was Sean Layden said on the PS Blogcast, that's where he announced that it was canceled.
Mhm.
And I'm paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of, we have Dreams and we have Days Gone, but we don't have enough to show for PSX.
I'd show up to PSX just to see Dreams.
He
'cause
never
that was
mentioned
insane.
the other
That's so good.
3 titles. He said now that Spider-Man's released and we have some footage of Days Gone and another 2019 release, Dreams.
Mhm.
But he never said
Oh man,
Ghost.
is Days
Last
Gone
of
their
Us.
2019 release? You think the rest are
I think-
2020?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
after
please.
hearing
Say
that.
that.
That is
I'm thinking all
so
3
bad.
of those games are 2020.
They would get
what a
brutalized.
smack on the face.
They would get brutalized next year.
I think that's what it's going to be
They will
because
get. Xbox is going to have like
18
15
exclusives.
that come out next year.
I think
and
if
the next
you have,
E3 you got Halo Infinite. It's going to be on stage. We know
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah, they said that.
Who knows what other Fable could be on there, and I would go
my
insane.
God.
So
I think because Jeff Keighley is really good at his job,
Mhm.
and he's really turning the Game Awards into something special.
Well, that's where we expect to hear things about Nintendo. So
Yeah, I'm thinking we may get some big time reveals at the Game Awards, more along the lines of our announcement for Fable or whatever Sony had left will be shown there because they're not showing anything for PSX.
right,
So yeah, that's what we got for news this week.
that's I mean, it's never gonna look bad for Sony because of, like I said,
I don't
they're
know, that looks
always
pretty bad for
That's
Sony.
pretty bad.
always
What are you
gonna have
talking about?
exclusives. No, but I mean, they're never. They have, like you said, they have a fan base. They have a massive fan base. They have the numbers still. They're about $4 billion in sales ahead of Microsoft this year. And granted, that was before Microsoft really came out and started hitting it hard with consoles, but
I hope by
so they're never gonna really flounder. But this is just they're
it's ugly.
they're hurting the situation. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not doing
canceling
it well.
something that people really look forward to year after year is it's awful.
The only thing we can look at that's a positive right now is some of the tweaking for PlayStation Now. Not anything great, but they did
But at
some
least they're
tweaking.
attempting.
And Fortnite's cross-platforming is the best thing they could have ever done to at least save their image. Except
Does
Should
it
have been
save
done
their
way
image?
earlier.
not at all.
Exactly, because
However-
they delayed for
But
6 months
but
until
also,
the backlash got so bad.
We're looking at it through our eyes, who have been discussing this for some time now. But
Right.
for a person who just has a let's say an actual
Passing
100%,
fancy.
exactly, they're
Yeah.
they're going to sit there and say, "Oh, that's neat."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's blowing up online. Wow, look what Sony did, and that is why Microsoft came out and gave that jab. Like,
Yeah.
yes, they did do this. That's great, but it
Hey,
was
guys,
a lot of work.
it was-
And
do you remember
Finally.
when me and Nintendo did that?
yeah,
Basically,
basically,
don't forget Nintendo was against it though,
Well-
until Epic strong-armed them into it.
yeah.
So that just shows you how strong they are. But anyway, now it's time to get to the whatever portion. And this was my question that I had for you guys because I had a thought
Before
and I wanted
Kevin
to get your.
hits us with this question, because I've been trying to say this the last 10 minutes. One thing, I really want to see the numbers for All Access for Xbox, just to see how many consoles they've sold.
You doing
Oh,
this
to
right
see how
now?
the
Since that
program's
started.
working.
I doubt they'll be out before next year, so probably sometime next year we should have them.
Well, the problem with Xbox and Microsoft in general is they never tell us anything. They never release
Well,
the numbers.
Stuff's changing.
Yeah.
But I hope to see a couple million consoles at least, because this was a
I would
huge
too,
change to the game.
That was a huge game changer.
Kevin.
So here's my whatever portion. So I was thinking, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. So God of War, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Shadow of the Tomb Raider are all having New Game Plus. Do we want New Game Plus for single-player games?
Yes.
Is this-
Absolutely.
When do we want it?
Always.
At launch.
Do you want it with launch, or do you want it
Yes.
as an
No,
additional
I
mode
hate it
several
later.
months later?
I'd prefer.
Witcher 3 did it really well. They did it within like that first month they got New Game Plus out, and I was still playing it. So I
That's
was
the-
like, all right,
that's the
New
thing,
Game
like,
Plus, let's get into
God
it.
of War.
You're
did
not going to see me go back into God of War now.
No,
there's
they-
nothing I need to get
They
into.
did
Too
that
late.
Yes.
terribly.
Well, that's
Too
the
late.
thing.
That's too long.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that they did it terribly. It's just that there's, like
They
we've
did it
discussed so many times, games are ever changing, ever releasing. There's no way I'm going back into an old game to play a New Game Plus when I've got 5 new games that just come out this month. You know what I mean? Like,
There are some games
on
that I
top
would
of
do
that, The Witcher 3 was also hundreds of hours of content.
Correct.
Yes, it
God
was.
of War was 40 tops.
Yeah.
So Witcher 3, I was still just killing everything, doing all the side quests, exploring their giant map when they released New Game Plus. I was like, oh yeah,
I mean,
that's for me.
the things that I could recall ever going on New Game Plus were like some RPGs. But the two that I recall that I actually got into a lot was Uncharted and The Last of Us. Now, for both those,
Naughty Dog games.
yeah, for both
Funny,
of those games,
I never did either of those,
when
but
you
I
do-
played them both.
But when you do the New Game Plus, they're like, hey, well, now that you played the game, you get all these
They
rewards.
make it so fun.
Hey, here are all
hey,
the things that
spend
you've
these
done.
coins and unlock all infinite weapons.
What's
and
this?
stuff.
I can get El Diablo just by buying it once, and I can just equip it every single scene. El Diablo,
well, Persona
bang bang.
5. Persona 5 had one of the best
yeah,
New Game
Persona-
Pluses I've ever
Persona
seen.
5.
Almost all the RPG, like I said, the RPG ones are big.
Because you
How
had.
about the entire Dark Souls franchise?
Bloodborne did that.
I
Yeah,
went.
well, that might
Did
as
you
well
just
be
say
a part of the Dark
Bloodborne?
Souls
It-
franchise.
it-
but-
well, it is
literally
from
a
software.
Soulsborne game. Get out of here with that. It's Dark Souls, but light.
But yes, Bloodborne is Dark
But yeah,
Souls.
literally, like New Game Plus in that style is also really good. Like the game I've recently been playing, The Surge, built the same way. You beat it, you go into New Game Plus, you keep all your stats, all your equipment.
The reason I brought up Persona 5 is because there were things in Persona 5 you couldn't even get until New Game Plus.
And not only that in Persona 5, they reveal to you, like, hey, this is the path that you've chosen, but you could have done things a lot better now that you know. Usually Persona 5 is a game that you play multiple times because you want to get more accurate, like, endings or more accurate character readings for people
Only
to
if
care
you're
for you.
Jake, because I did perfect.
He looked things up.
I didn't look it up.
He looked everything. He
Well,
always
that's
does.
no surprise.
I wanted to catch the biggest fish and I missed the date.
Oh,
You went fishing?
Yeah, you can go fishing
I
in that
never
game.
fished in that game. I didn't care.
I told Jake he can go fishing, and he was like, "What?"
And I did.
I was too busy trying to get Saint now. I got him.
he got him.
Because I sent him a text and I
That's what
said,
you can get in the.
I said, Jake, how's
New
the
Game
fishing?
Plus.
He's like, there's fishing? I was like, how long have you played? He was like, I don't know, like 60 hours.
I was literally at game when I started. I'm like, no, I can't get the big fish. This sucks.
The date system they used in Persona was really cool.
Every Persona game has that, which
Persona
is a good
5
thing.
is just an excellent
It's a
game.
very
and
good game.
I haven't
Saint
played it.
Nell, who he was talking about, is one of the best figures, whatever they're called. What are they
They're
called?
personas.
Personas in the game, and you can't get them until New Game
Weird,
Plus.
huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's a really cool way to do things. Is if
He also
There
takes
are
like
certain
6
things
of
that are
the other
locked out
ultimate
behind.
personas
Correct.
to make, so
Yikes.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
so-
a challenge.
I have one question left in this whatever segment. And that question is, do you guys think that New Game Plus for single player games, our developers, is this their answer to giving us more content because of the choices out there for multiplayer games? Is this a way to try to draw people back
You
in?
mean to continue replayability?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Because you always hear in the industry that single player games are dead, even though they're not.
yeah,
Never.
Is this like the
That's
developers'
insane.
way? Is this their way of saying you can continue to play our game?
it's
well, the thing is, without it, a lot of single players don't have that replayability.
Agreed.
So with it,
Well-
I tend to enjoy games with it more. New
at
Game
the
Plus.
same time though. The games that do it the best are the ones with all of the content already in there. Like, so like Brennan said, with God of War, it's 40 hours tops. So, and that's pretty much maxing the game, everything but the Ravens. So
But I don't think.
if I go back through that, I'm not getting new things. I'm not like okay.
Right,
So
that's the
Assassin's
thing.
Creed Odyssey, we already know there's choices. We know there's things in there that changes the story, changes what
not
happens.
only, well, the first choice is your sex, the character you play
Yeah.
as.
Which defines how people see you. It defines a lot of
Yeah.
things. So that automatically gives me brand new content in New Game Plus, automatically, because I can make the opposite choices. I think they do have a binary choice, so I can make the opposite choices of everything and completely change how I do it, and it's a completely new story for me.
You can also be higher level,
Do you-
get higher level gear, get better gear.
Exactly.
That's the same thing with Dark Souls. Once
Go-
you beat it, it unlocked new content,
Right.
new
Shut up,
weapons,
Jake.
new bosses, stuff like that. Jake, you can go ahead.
So the thing I was going to ask was like I'm thinking back to BioWare when they had Mass Effect, and I liked playing both sexes because I like to see what you did and what was different. And it's not really huge choices that make a difference. Basically, romances are the big difference in them. But they never offered you the New Game Plus in that. They just said, "Hey, play again."
Mass Effect had New Game Plus.
I don't believe it did.
No, they did. I rebeat those games like 100 times with New Game Plus character.
I'm checking right now.
You can go ahead, but the first one I was like level 800, so I rebeat it like 12 times.
That was our game.
That's-
His game.
It was a really good game.
I loved it. I loved the rover and searching the planets.
I never replayed.
I watched him fight so many of those worms.
Thresher Maws.
Thresher Maw. That's my God. This was when I was in high school and didn't actually play video games, so I just watched him play.
So that was my whatever segment of the show.
It's nice.
And
liked
hey,
it.
it may return. You never know.
Whatever.
It's whatever. Uh,
The only thing that they said you could do is bring your character back, but I don't think that.
Yep, same Paragon level. That's why in the first game at the end,
Diablo did
slight spoilers here from the 2008 Mass Effect 1, you could make Saren shoot himself in the head essentially to skip the first half of the boss fight.
what?
Yeah, you convinced him he was wrong, and he was better than that, so he kills himself. So you just have to fight the Reaper part.
Wow. I was just getting to the Saren fight.
Oh,
Just kidding.
You know, the
Hilarious.
fun fact is, he could have been with the slow time it takes for him to.
Ouch.
Jake's got shots.
Jake's got shade.
My God.
I appreciate that, Jake.
Thanks,
So you
Jake.
got
All right,
it.
let's move on.
That's probably
The whatever is never coming back after that. So Brennan wants to talk a little bit about a game he casts so much shade on that he apologizes
I do
for.
apologize massively. So a couple
Did you do it on a
podcasts back,
podcast?
yes,
He
it
did.
was on podcast.
It was.
Kevin
Because the sequel was
mentioned the
announced.
Surge 2 sequel, and I immediately shit on it because I thought it was just another Souls clone. That's what I'd been told. And this was my fault because I didn't even test it. I just went with what I was told. So recently it went on sale for $10.
I
So
think
I
it's
said,
still on sale for another day.
I think so
but
as well.
That's not current.
That's
Yeah,
not going to
so
work
that's
out for
not
our
gonna
listeners.
work out for you guys.
You guys hear this after we record. So,
Sorry.
I
sorry about your
apologize
luck.
for the inconvenience.
So I grabbed
Whoops.
it for $10, and its DLC was on sale for $10 too. So I grabbed that. Figured why not?
Who needs to eat?
Yeah, $20 is whatever. It's one of the better games I've played in a long time. Actually, after Spider-Man, it was very refreshing to play a game I
Wow.
enjoyed.
It does have one of the coolest mechanics I've ever
Zing.
seen. This
So,
is another one I watch while playing Overwatch.
If you guys have listened previously, you know I'm not a big Bloodborne fan. I look at it as Dark Souls light, just offering less, but pretty much the same mechanics otherwise.
That's light, LITE.
LITE, correct. This game actually kind of stood out, made itself different than Dark Souls. And the biggest thing about it was the combat was very punishing. If you screwed up, you died. That's same thing in the Souls vein combat.
Did you finish?
I have not. I'm on the last boss. I was just farming.
So you have played enough to...
Yes.
Oh,
By the time
yeah,
they're hearing this, I'll have probably beat New Game Plus already. But
No.
no, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is out, so never mind.
Hey, whatever. If he wants to play that, go ahead.
No. that's
But
not-
the thing that really stands out in this game is that the enemies, when you're attacking them, you have to select which part of the body. So you got head, left or right arm, right or left leg, and the torso. And if you hit the certain part enough times, it's you break it for the JRPG term.
Yep.
And it allows you to do a finisher on them. If you've done enough damage to whichever body part you're targeting, when you do the finisher, you cut that body part off, and the loot you get is their helmet.
If you target the head.
their gauntlets, legs, chest plate.
But these
etc.
are mechanized robots, right?
exosuits.
No.
Exosuits?
Exosuit
Oh, it
wearing
is.
enemies. The bosses are generally giant robots, but there are human bosses sprinkled in there. So that's a really cool.
What's the customization like?
Well, it just depends. So if I go out and I fight this guy and I see he's got a cool right arm, I'm going to target his right arm. I'm going to cut it off, and it's going to be mine.
Oh, it works like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You get their weapons. When you cut their arm off, you get the weapon and the schematic for the armor, which is really
It's
cool.
very cool. It's
And
one of the
actually,
coolest mechanics I've ever seen.
That is really cool.
It's
And it
super
makes
cool.
farming, for me, I'm a farmer. It's what I do.
You're
I
a
grind,
gatherer.
I grind, and I want
He's
to.
not a real farmer.
I want to
people.
fight I want to fight the
Beets.
same boss 10 times until, like with Destiny, I killed Oryx probably
Cabbages.
5,000 times to
Yeah,
try.
but that
and-
raid was amazing.
That's true, but I was for the loot. That's what I wanted.
There's no RNG in this game.
This one,
that's the good.
If
thing.
I want his
That is
arm,
good.
I cut off his arm, I get the loot. But at the same time, I've still got to farm because I want his left arm now that I've got his right arm. So I'm going to go and I'm going to grind. I'm going to cut that off next. And it makes it very rewarding because you get the drop you want every time. But at the same time, as he said, combat is punishing. So I can kill this guy 4 times, get all the pieces except for one, go back, and all of a sudden he can kill me. And that's just because
one mistake,
I made a mistake
dead.
or something, and you die. So it's rewarding, but it's still challenging for me. So it's one of the coolest mechanics I've seen. I haven't really seen it in a game before, and it's
So how excited are you for the
Monster
sequel
Hunter
then?
had something similar.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Monster
I'm-
Hunters was similar in the sense
Really,
that
I
you
just
had
want to
you had
apologize
the tail
to
to
Deck
get the
3
tail.
because
Yeah.
it's really good.
I've been on the
I
fence for Surge
judged
for
it,
so long.
and now I really enjoy it. So I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you had the
I mean,
Inclination
$10, I'll buy it.
to
That gumption.
So,
give it a
Tell
shot.
them about Mountain Blade. Mountain Blade on the console.
nobody.
We'll talk about that some
needs
other
to
time.
hear
Yeah,
that.
mistakes.
But that's great that you took a shot anyway to explore it for yourself, and it turned out to be a good game. Because I was curious how, if a game was that bad, it would get a sequel anyway. So good to find out that it's a decent game, and everybody should be on the lookout for that. If it's still on sale, when you do hear this, go pick it up. But we're going to move on now to our main feature of the show, which is Nintendo's new offering on mobile called Dragalia Lost. Jake, take over.
So, you guys will be seeing a video soon, hopefully,
I'm out.
about it.
See you all next time.
Nintendo, with another company called Games, produced a action role playing game called Dragalia Lost for the mobile, Android, and Apple. I got to do the pre-registration for it and played it before it came out, a couple days beforehand, and I fell in love with it. It's got an awesome style. It's a pretty easy game. You just slide your finger through to move them around, and then you tap on enemies. It's not anything too,
they have
complex.
abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have skills. And
Every
abilities
character
and
has
stuff.
different abilities that they can use.
It's a mobile game. We're not expecting.
I mean, they have a lot of
It was
complexities.
really pretty though.
It
Reminded
is.
me of most other JRPGs.
in the game. Like, there was a lot of different things that they had that I haven't seen them put all in one, like in one
Mobile game.
mobile game. Yeah, so they have obviously your castle building thing that doesn't usually go with these types of games, but you build your own castle to farm items, resources, etc. You have a character. Each character that you use has what they call like a mana ring. Any other name for it, it's called a mana ring. It's levels that your character travels through that you earn mana for, and you use it to like increase attributes, gain better abilities, etc.
Level up, essentially.
You level up along with that, though. So you can level up as a character, and you also have this mana ring to gain other abilities.
But
That's
what
cool.
does leveling give you?
It just health, strength, might.
Oh, okay. So you're
it's
not-
So it's like a set boost per level.
Yeah, and then-
whereas the mana ring you get to choose.
You're
yes,
customizing your build.
yep.
That's cool.
But and the thing about it is, like, it's tiered. So like you can you'll see, hopefully in the video, if people watch it, you can see there's a whole slew of tiers of mana rings that you can go through. So, but you have to earn pieces to go up
Do you have
continuously.
a number for that or no?
I 7, 9. There's like a whole bunch of them. So like
9
within
tiers or
Tiers,
yes.
each
So-
consisting of maybe 13 plus on each.
I would
10 maybe?
I'd say 10.
10 skills per level.
Yep.
Tier, I mean.
So like it reminds me a lot of like actually a lot of RPGs that I played through, like the paradigm shifting through Final Fantasy 13. Actually, a lot of Final Fantasy games that are relatively new did this. Paradigm Shift, Final Fantasy X's the rings that you
Yeah.
had. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But a lot of these games, I've never seen something so in depth, and I've only been playing it for probably about 6-7 hours in total, and I still haven't unlocked all the features in the game yet. So not only can I level up a character, I can level up my dragons, which, by the way, you make pacts with dragons to become them.
And it's like a summoning technique, right?
Yep, you become the dragon, you run around, you beat the shit out of things.
So I have a question for you. In this skill set, when you're customizing your character, do some of these choices determine which dragons you can summon?
Oh,
Or
you can select from a list of dragons. So you gain the dragons through basically a summoning, just like how any other cash grab
And
phone game would be.
It's a question.
Do you
there.
have to pay
Can you
to summon?
earn
No, you
these
earn it.
dragons?
You can earn
Okay.
them, but you have to
Or-
earn them by summoning them.
And
so-
can you earn the summons, or do you have
Yes,
to pay? For
it's
the
called
summons?
Wormite. So you earn the Wormite by continuously going through the game. They reward you with it through the game.
Right.
But you can pay to win as
Yes,
well.
you can also pay to
You-
win, but I haven't seen a PvP portion of this yet. But like I said, not everything has been unlocked. So if there is like a pay to win, it's a pay to win against the environment. So woo for that
But-
one.
you
Who
said
doesn't like being
you said
OP?
there's no pay wall, though.
Yes, I've stated that before. Yep, there is no paywall that I've seen thus far. It's mainly you just got to be patient with these types of games because there is an energy thing that sooner or later you're going to run out
Right.
of, and you got to give it time. And
I mean,
there's
it's a mobile game.
but
They
the-
do have to have their cash
They
grabs
want
in
you
there.
to
They
buy that.
Yes,
And I don't think you mentioned this, but it is a free-to-play game.
completely free to play and multiplayer, so you can play
And it
by
is
yourself.
co-op.
Most
Four
of the-
player, right?
Most of the cash.
Yeah, it's 4-player, so you
No,
can.
he doesn't mean
Four-player, like
Co-op.
co-op.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the completely free.
Yeah, it's
most cash grab
most of
outs.
them are.
yeah. I
are-
mean, for the most part, I haven't seen any reason to pay any money to it yet.
Right,
So
Right.
I will.
Also known
I don't
as
know if there's ever a
freemium
reason.
games.
There's never a reason. It just makes
Yeah, there's
you
a
better.
reason.
I mean, they the other thing that they give you, it's called like diamantium or diamantium. That's the cash money. So that's the
the
that's
currency,
the premium cash.
in-game currency.
Can you earn that, or is that pay only?
That's pay
that's
only.
the pay stuff.
So, but the thing about it is, like everything that you can get with diamantium, you can get with wormite. So you can earn the same amount.
Is wormite spelled with a Y?
Of
That's
course
with
it is.
well, the worm part of it is. So
Why would the mite part be?
I don't know, because there could be two Y's randomly there.
What kind of
Why
a
not?
word is that?
Why not? I
What else about this game?
oh
Talk
goodness.
about the battle mechanics.
I was gonna say combat too.
Combat's pretty simple. You just put your finger on there, move to
You
move.
already told us a little bit about it.
And you
tap
gain-
on them to.
Yep, and your character will gain momentum the farther you move. So if you gain more momentum, the first strike that you do will do more damage, push the enemy further. And then you tap on the opponents. You tap on the opponents to hit them, and also charge up both of your dragon summon and your actual physical attack that you have, your skill that you have set for your character.
That skill. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask about the enemies you're fighting. Is it other people with dragons? What is it? Other dragons? What is
So
the
far,
actual...
I'm going through the story mode. It's it's pretty much in any like role playing game. It's going to be whatever the monster is reskinned to face whatever element it's supposed to be. So it's going to be a similar looking goblin, but the goblin looks tiny bit different since it's a water goblin. So. And the game's elemental system is based on rock, paper, scissors. One beats another. So
Yeah, and it's the traditional elements.
Now with your character before he's dragon mode, do you like equip him with items to fight? Or?
he can. You start off with wooden weapons, and you can, as you play the game, when you summon for anything, you can get weapons. Also, these things called worm prints that add on to your character, and also characters. So
summoning is kind of a random. You can get
you
anything.
can get just about anything on it.
It'll pull from.
Are you happy when you get weapons, or is
I-
that more of a negative?
I kind of wish I could get more weapons because I am still in chapter 2 of the game, but I'm still only getting. I'm not able to increase my weapons abilities or power yet, so I'm just stuck here with a level 1 weapon, still hoping I could do more with it.
Right.
Gotcha.
Is it just because you don't think it's been revealed yet?
It's
Something you
literally
haven't-
locked. It's
Oh,
locked
still
down
locked?
for now. So I don't know
Gotcha.
if it's. I'm hoping it's
You
just
haven't
because.
progressed far enough.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's that, and not just be like, hey, you guys got to give me another week, and then we'll post it up and create it and all that stuff.
Right.
Uh,
Which does sometimes tend to happen in these games where they don't have something created yet, or it's a planned update. But with the game, with the weapons and things, is it with the pay to win aspect of it? Because you're going to get more summons to basically the more you pay. Is that where they have like legendary, like what I'm trying to get at is like the actual like levels.
So what they do is it's a star system. So 1 to 5 stars.
Okay.
5 stars better,
Which
1
is
star
Pretty
crappy.
common. Yeah.
And
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if you buy 10 summons, whether you use Wormite or Damantium, whatever it's called, if you buy 10, obviously it says, well, hey, if you buy 10 of these, you get a better percentage of getting this one.
Right.
So that's all I've been doing is I never buy singles.
Right.
With the diamantium, can you like buy straight up items you want, or can you only buy the
Is
summons?
it RNG?
I think it's only the summons. I don't know if
I don't
there's
like that.
That's
You can-
usually how it does go.
you can
no, 'cause
pay
they
for
want you to buy
resources and
more
stuff
to
with
get the thing
Diamantium,
you
but
want.
I haven't really looked into it because I don't want to yet. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So sticking with the combat for a moment, you mentioned skills. So, and when you people watch the video,
When you people.
You're gonna
people,
see-
the listeners.
when you listener
You
people watch the video, you're gonna see the skill I'm talking about. It's a horizontal cut that he does, and it's like an area of effect
Oh, tornado slash.
that he does, and he hits all the enemies, and I'm pretty sure he wiped them out with that hit.
Yep.
So that's a skill, but are there other skills that you can equip?
I think because you can see your character, like at least for my character's mana ring level, his extra skills are locked down.
Okay.
I have bonuses to my skills that have been added onto it. So like it might have a bigger radius and may actually deal more damage to this type of element.
Right. Well,
But-
I was wondering, like, because that's a AOE attack. I was
Yes.
wondering if you had like single
Or at least
opponent,
a close to
stronger
single.
attack, stuff like that.
Nope, not yet. But I know that there is another ability that he has. I just haven't had it unlocked.
And that's not random, right? You'll be able to assign that skill to that slot.
I think every character has different skills they can use. So every character has I think every warrior has a similar skill, similar slash. But I think
Okay.
all the mages and stuff have their own specialty abilities, which I haven't been able to play with because I stuck with using the main character. Because
So with the warriors, is it just like different elements for their slash? And
Yep.
So yours currently is tornado, which would be wind.
Obviously.
well, if I'm the dragon, it's tornado. But if I'm the main character, Kun, the tornado slash actually just he releases like a ring of fire around him because he's a fire elemental.
Oh, okay.
So
Why does he have a wind dragon?
I don't know. Good question.
Is that just based on what you're summoned?
It's just as the story started, you seek out the windworm of the forest, is what it's called.
Oh, so yours is actually your dragon's actually from the story then.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
name is Midgard
Got
Samar.
you.
Is it good?
It's trash.
That's what I was.
I mean, I like the dragon so far. So I mean,
You haven't had any issues. Is the combat actually challenging? Have you had any levels
Has
you
it
couldn't get
jumped
past? Or
at
I
all?
have had the game has jump difficulty in different portions of it, but that's because I've been really stubborn with using my main. Like I've been using my main character in an area where it's water based.
Water-based, right.
So at the moment, I've been really stubborn going through it. But if I chose a different element like
it would
wind,
take care of it.
it would be better.
So overall, also don't forget this game is extremely successful already.
Within the past 5 days of its release, it has earned a total revenue of $3 million.
That's
Gotta
big
get
money.
Dimantium.
Yeah.
Dimantium?
Correct.
Dimantium.
That is
Overall,
why,
though, Jake, how you feeling about this game?
Like, are you talking about giving a score?
No, don't give it a score.
Oh.
Just how do you feel so far?
Oh, I like it a lot.
Can you give it a recommends?
I would definitely recommend it to people. And if you guys ever see me on there, you guys can certainly add me. I need more friends.
Is this one of the better mobile games that you've played?
Oh, heck yes. It's got the Nintendo seal of approval right on it. So
It does.
It's
Which in itself is a pretty big.
that's a huge
Seal.
thing.
Oh yeah, big time.
So I definitely recommend it. It's so smooth. It's got excellent voice acting, albeit minuscule. The music is pretty nice. It's your typical anime esque music. It's almost so surreally anime esque. So
That's a good
Well,
thing.
Yeah.
I definitely
Thanks.
recommend it.
Thanks for giving us that feature on Dragalia Lost. And when Jake's done with it, he's going to do a full review on that. So stay tuned for that as well.
On TSGG.online.
Yes. Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome. I'm here for it.
Now,
I might
episode
download
20.
this app, by the way.
What's that?
I said I might download this app, by the way.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
Friendship.
I would
Just to
spend
be
all
Jake.
the dollars
Just
on
to-
it, though.
you did, just to co-op with him.
No, I'd spend all the dollars. I'd be way
Oh.
better than he
You're
would.
going to get the
Factually,
Diamantium
all
or
the
whatever it is?
I cannot spend dollars on this.
No, I shouldn't. But I
He
do.
will not download this app.
Correct. What he said.
So
For the best.
episode 20 was a celebration for us.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of fun with the question segment that we did, the Ask Us Anything. We thought, why not continue doing it? So here are some questions from some of our listeners. Dan says, now that Nintendo Online has launched and offers a family plan, do you think Microsoft and Sony will ever offer family plans for online services?
Dan, that's a hard no.
Well, Microsoft kind of does because they actually explain to you how to game share. They kind of promote it as that that one console that you can connect to with. So they do kind of have that,
But not really.
Not really. And Sony, even though they originally had this where they did go through the game sharing, it's something that they've gone away from. So yeah, I don't see it.
But
Nintendo,
the game sharing is different though.
yeah, it's. The
I
thing is with the same.
Just no.
just no.
I don't think so. Nintendo has always been the family
The loss of
friendly. It's
revenue,
what they've
I just
done.
don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that, but I also had another thought. If Microsoft made Xbox Game Pass a family plan, I think that would be a great addition for Games Pass.
I mean,
that
Game Pass
one
is
I don't
already
think
so good.
I know, but
I
this
don't
would
see that
really
happening,
put
and the
them-
reason for that is because that one is the only thing I've come across that doesn't game share. So everything else game shares, including Xbox Live.
But I was just
but
thinking about
Game
it
Pass does not.
in like a way of Netflix where
But the
you
games from
subscribe.
Game Pass do.
That is true.
Yeah, so
No, they
like
don't.
you subscribe to Game Pass
So if you
and
download
then
it, I would get it, but not no. Because
No. if like right now with Game Pass
'Cause I had
you
to.
have your login credentials. So if you were to have something like Netflix where you could have different users to your Game Pass account and then they could log in on their consoles in the same household, I think that would really set them above
That'd be
the
insane.
rest.
Oh yeah, that would. Sony
Okay.
would be quite hard
Listen,
pressed
Microsoft. Listen.
to combat that.
Just another day for Phil to get flexing.
That's
Next
coming
question
for-
comes from Katie. Who will win the next gen console war?
Xbox because
Xbox.
theirs is coming out.
I'm assuming
'Cause
she's
theirs
talking
is
about
confirmed.
Microsoft and Sony.
Sony's is not.
So my thought on it
Scarlet.
is Sony has been mum about next gen, and Microsoft, they've been giving you little hints and publicly have been making really big changes to their company. So if I had to say anything right now, I'd have to say the edge is definitely going to Microsoft.
You know what about this? As I'm seeing Sony try to take a grab, like trying to, make us feel a little bit better about what's
Take
happened. And you guys
grab.
already seen my anger for this. I don't think Sony's going to be the one on top. I think it's going to be Xbox.
Well, the thing is that Microsoft, they have the cap, or sorry, that's a sports term, but basically they've got the money that Sony can't compare to. Sony is a huge company, but Microsoft is massive. And they've
Fingers
always
in a lot of pies.
they've always focused on PC gaming. They've always PCs, that's
Stand by.
Dell. That's what they do. But now that they're budgeting for console now, and they will win if they don't care how much money they have to throw at it. Basically, at this point, they're gonna win, and that's what
You're right, because there was a point where we were starting to wonder, is Microsoft giving up? And now we know they are not.
no.
They're coming hard.
I think they were regrouping.
They were
if
regrouping,
anything.
rebuilding, and now they were saying, we're going to win next gen.
And now they have
And
Playground Games,
they do.
Ninja Theory,
Yeah.
all the other studios that they purchased and they brought in. What's the new one in Santa Monica? They've got all that. And
Just
they're-
me, I have
It
no
was
idea.
it was an
They're
Xbox
fully loaded
its own
and coming out.
It was their
Uh,
own branded company though. I
Yeah.
think whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
it
they
was, but
opened
they
a new
did give it a
studio,
name.
yeah.
You just have to stay tuned, and we'll definitely be continuing that conversation. Great question. Next one comes from Andy, and he wants to know, are you guys going to do a Game of the Year, and when is that show? So let me answer this one. We are going to do a full TSGG award show, and we will do a discussion of all the categories and announce the finalists in December. And then in January, we will give out the awards in the award show. Both shows are going to have full discussions of these games. You guys want to add to any of that? I think I
I'll
covered
give
it.
them
There will
a
also
little
be
bit
a,
of foreshadowing. It's going to be Odyssey.
God.
There will be a collectible of the year as well.
Collectible of the year?
I've got
I
a
think we should
favorite
announce that.
We're
That's a
not
good
already.
announcing
one.
categories yet.
No, come
Oh,
on. That's a good
Oh,
one.
come on.
Just
That's in the.
Did Kevin?
That's in December.
Well, that's a category we're coming out with. It's a new one. TSGG's Collectible of the Year.
Okay. The next one is from Sarah.
And it's also from Odyssey.
And she says,
Foreshadowing.
it was actually tied into what we talked about a little earlier. She said Sony's skipping PSX this year. Does this mean that PS5 will get announced next year?
Well, I'd hope so.
I mean, they can't
They
afford
better.
not
They
to, really.
better.
Because the year after, Microsoft's is going to be out.
So the problem that I'm thinking, we saw the Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and what's the Kojima's, whatever that is.
Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding.
whatever the movie.
Project?
We
Walking
saw
Simulator.
we saw those as the death call kind of for PS4.
The
But
curtain
now
call.
we're not getting those until 2020. So
Right.
Now I don't know because
Seems
if that's
more like launch titles.
if
Yeah.
those are 2020 games, I definitely see them as launch titles for the PS5.
Well, I'm going to say, to answer her question, no. PS5 does not get announced next year. I happen to think those 3 titles are PS4's curtain call, and I think they're going to release in 2020, and I don't think the PS5 is going to launch when the next Microsoft console does.
That's a
That's a
mistake.
misstep.
That would be brutal.
That would be.
I know. I think, like we just said, Microsoft is preparing to go, and I think they caught Sony on their heels, and they're going for it.
Basking in their God of
Yeah.
War glory.
I mean, they're still
I don't
making
blame
a
them.
lot of money.
Mistakes were made.
They're still making a lot of money, and they're not focused fully on next gen yet. So, no, I don't think we get PS5 announced next year. I think we get it announced maybe January of 2020, February, like they did with the PS4, and then rolled it out the next year. I think it'll come out in 2021, 2022, like I originally thought.
Oh man,
By
that's
that
way
point,
behind.
I'm already playing Cyberpunk 2077 on my Xbox
in
7.
8K.
So
7.
I'm enjoying myself.
Great question. Thank you. Next one comes from a gamer tag, Big Timer. And he or she says, October has some big releases coming out. Which one would you recommend most for somebody that can only buy one?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wait a minute. This guy who has been totally against Red Dead Redemption
Yeah,
2, I
shut
can't
your
even
mouth
speak
over there,
because
Jake.
I'm blowing my mind. right now.
Flabbergasted.
He comes out of nowhere and recommends a
wanted to
game.
steal
He
Brennan's
hates.
literally saw my mouth moving, and he's like, I'm stealing
He
it.
Well,
stole the thunder.
This is the reason why.
Let me say RDR2 first,
But
because
Well,
it's going to be the
I
game
said
of the year.
Assassin's Creed
the-
first,
hold up.
so we're gonna discuss it because it's been out for a couple weeks now.
Let everyone get their picks out first. Don't.
Okay.
What about you, Kevin?
Honestly, I don't think I can just recommend a single game because I don't know what this person plays.
Hey,
I don't
Kevin,
know.
that's a
what
cop
they
out.
like.
Maybe just pick
Super
a game.
cop out.
Huh?
What are
Maybe
you
just
doing?
pick a game.
Maybe just pick a game.
This guy picked the game he hates.
I'm gonna pick.
I don't like westerns.
I
Shut up,
don't.
Jake.
I hate it.
I think.
Did you watch that gameplay trailer?
Just pick Starlink to be different.
Oh,
Just-
No, I don't want to be different. If I gotta say one of the game of the year contenders, either Assassin's Creed or Red Dead Redemption 2. Pick one of those. And,
Forza's got the highest Metacritic of all three of those.
yeah, but it's a racing game.
Well,
Their
Red Dead
criteria
isn't
is
out
much
yet.
smaller,
That's true. That is true. Yeah, but it's Metacritic.
and it's an exclusive to Xbox. I don't know what this person has.
That's true as well.
So
But it's free if you have Game Pass.
I'm gonna pick a game that is multi-console. So it's gonna be ACO or RDR2.
Well, that doesn't answer his question.
Yeah,
but
maybe
let me
pick
tell you
a
why
game,
it should
Kevin.
be ACO.
No.
Basically, it's been out for a couple weeks now. If you haven't seen it already, go take a look at the unboxing video I did for the Spartan edition of ACO. You will
Brennon.
see how
Spartan
much
edition.
excitement I felt as I opened it, and you'll see it. And I apologize for the cringe.
And
But anyway,
Where will you
this
see that?
game. Oh yeah, that's on youtube.com/thesociety. But this game is insane. Just visually, the combat is pretty fluid. It is reminiscent still of the Origins combat a little bit. It does differ without the shield. It's got just a multitude of weapons. Armor matters now. All kinds of things. So if you're a looter type person, you've got that aspect. You've got the combat. You've got a skill system, and at the same time, you've got a wide open Greece, which is one of the prettiest places of the world already. And then they also threw in the mythological aspects of it, so it's got everything. I absolutely recommend
You're right.
it.
You're totally right about that. Now, Big Timer. If you aren't into that kind of game, go ahead and pick up Red Dead Redemption 2. It's that simple. If that's
is.
not a game
That's
that
true.
you're wanting to play, Red Dead is the one for you. Next question comes from Yaz the Kid. Sony, let us change our gamer tags.
Please.
A couple of episodes ago, you guys mentioned your favorite female heroes. Who are your favorite male heroes?
So, as you guys know, we screen all these questions. And I've been thinking about this basically the whole time. The biggest one that I'm coming up with and this is going to steal Kevin's or maybe Jake's Link. Link is literally one of my first memories from gaming, playing Majora's Mask. Basically, he's the quintessential hero, trying to save the princess. He's a knight, fights with a sword. It's just, and you followed him kind of through multiple universes. He's gone from the Majora's Mask, the what's the flute?
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, where you saw him age, and that's kind of a different world. And now we've got Breath of the Wild. Just always the quintessential hero trying to save the damsel in distress. Just really great. Has a range of games, even on the Wii U and stuff. I know I never played them, but I know there were some good ones there.
Skyward Sword.
And
You'll never be mine.
yeah,
Twilight Princess.
So I had to pick that. That Link just has to be my favorite male hero of any game so far.
No, don't sell Zelda short, because she's badass in her own
Correct.
right.
She is, no
100%
doubt
BA.
about it.
Thanks for that, Brett. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Jake.
Ezio Auditore
Whew, that's a good one.
from Assassin's Creed 2
Have you
and
even
Brotherhood
played?
and whatever the other one was.
Revelations.
Revelations. So
Don't play that one.
I really liked
Pretend the
Ezio
last one wasn't said.
because for one
Did you
thing,
just say don't play Revelations?
Yes, I did.
Oh, Kevin.
I
We're going to have words.
Oh no.
I would choose him because he had a personality, and you actually saw this person age and grow and change
Saw Link
through
grow.
each like installment of his
You did.
Assassin's Creed journey.
Did a good job with that.
So I would have chosen him because, for one, he's got swagger and he was supremely powerful. He built his own assassin empire, basically.
I should have just picked Alexios.
Brotherhood, maybe?
You can't.
I should
Not
have.
canon.
It's too late for you.
He's not canon. That is true. So
And
I don't know if he
think
can
that's
really
the
be
reason why
considered a
He's
hero.
not.
he was strictly.
That's why
Grade A badass.
Commander Shepard isn't mine, because it's not canon.
This is Commander Shepard, and TSGG.online is my favorite website on the internet.
Okay, he's all done.
If you can say that.
Brennan, go ahead.
Mine's going to be John Marston.
Ooh.
Is John a
Ooh.
hero?
This was a man who,
Anti-hero.
in his young days, was a bad guy. He was not good. He
Not at
was a
all.
murderer, robber, killed people. Not a good guy.
He's a philanderer.
But
Paid
in his
for-
end,
paid for hookers.
as the game title suggests, he set out for redemption. Yeah, that was cringy. I apologize.
It was, yes.
And by the end of
Continue
the
your
game,
sermon,
cringing.
please.
by the end of the game, he'd earned it. He tracked down people who were his
I
friends
mean, he still killed them. So
for years.
Did he
Actually,
really earn
that was up to you. You could actually bring them back alive, which is what I did. So he was these people's friends for years. He was a criminal for years. But for his family, he gave that up, settled down as a rancher. And for his family, he tracked his friends down and essentially
dragged
either
them behind
killed
his
them
horse.
or lassoed them and dragged them across the countryside like I did. That's a different story.
Oh.
And then in the end, a spoiler for 2010 Red Dead Redemption.
Everything is 2010, by the way. All of the games
Doesn't
before
matter.
us came out in
all
2010.
It's just 2010.
accurate. He died for his family, which is the most heroic action.
He did not die.
Okay, I'm
He
not counting zombie John
was
Marston.
mutilated.
Yes, you're right. He was blown to pieces. He was literally shot by like 35 people multiple times.
They unloaded
No matter
every
how many
bullet they had
times
on him.
you replayed that scene trying to kill them all, you could
You
not
can't.
do it.
No, you're gonna die.
So yeah, he's got to be. And that was the game that honestly had the most emotional impact on me that I've ever played. So
Black Flags. I balled at the end of Black Flags.
Black
Should
Flag
probably
was
play
really
that.
good.
it's so sad.
To me,
Just the
my
ending was
most
horrendous.
emotional was The Last of Us. But are you? Go ahead. You finish.
Just the
Yeah, no,
cutscene
so
at the end
just-
of Black
just-
Flags is just
One
horrendous.
thing to note about Red Dead is Red Dead Redemption 2. I am very happy we are not playing as his son.
Yeah, same.
So my favorite hero, I guess, I don't care that he's not a hero, but he's one of my favorite of all time. Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat.
Wearing the Mortal Kombat shirt and everything.
Yeah.
Hits us with that.
He's one of my favorite
Not even
characters.
Sub-Zero, his
No.
favorite.
Shao Kahn
Hits
is
us
way
with
better
Shao
than
Kahn.
He's
Sub-Zero.
actually a hero, by the way.
Sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But Shao Kahn's definitely not a hero, but he's
It's a
pretty fucking badass. So he's one of my favorite male characters of all time.
And he's gone forever.
Never to come back.
He'll be back.
He's dead.
He's coming
Non-
back.
Gone forever.
He will not be back.
He's
as-
coming back.
He'll be coming back as a spirit or something like that.
You will play
Summon.
Shao Kahn's story exclusively
Oh, yeah.
in Mortal Kombat 11.
Exclusively on Xbox.
Netherworld, you hear that?
Netherworld, make me happy. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. Thanks for... What? You had more to say?
No, just thanks for all those questions, guys. We
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Thanks, everybody,
Sure
for the
do.
questions. If you want to submit questions for our show, we're going to continue the question, Ask Us Anything segments. So go over to tsgg.online and submit at the bottom. And we will hopefully be able to get you on
At
the show
the,
as well.
At the Contact Us page, not the
Yeah.
comment page.
At the Contact Us. Insert your name. It can be your name or gamer tag. We don't care. Just get those questions in. But that is all the time we have this week. Thank you all for listening, and thank you guys for being on the panel. Don't forget, you can find us at tsgg.online, Twitter, and YouTube. Patreon.com/TSGG is where you can help us continue to make better content for you. Check out our levels and subscribe if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. You only have to wait a handful of days more, and you can find us on all of the podcast services out there for free. Have a great week, everybody.
See you all next time.
See ya.
Bye.